You don't have to be good at everything to be successful. You just pick a few things, avoid a lot of things which you are not good at, consistently pay attention in doing those good things consistently, and you will end up making money.
Trust me, in the crypto world, if you really want to make money, the short term game of 20, 30, 40, 50% is nothing compared if you keep it for 6 months. It is nothing compared to what you would get if you keep it for 6 months. So all the people trying to buy at 55 rupees and it goes up to 75, 80, I'm saying it's literally pointless. You're trying to do 50% returns in one day, but if you keep it for 6 months to 1 year, you will get more than 200% returns, right? If you invest in the good ones. My God.
Did you
Yeah.
did
So
you do you hold Dogecoins, Shashank?
no. I've been very vocal that I'm not holding Dogecoins. I am actually
Okay.
holding only 3 coins right now. Just 3 coins. Fundamental analysis, a little bit of technical analysis, looks at a 20, 30-year timeline, sees how the market is going to evolve over that 20, 30 years. Lot of factors, lot of variables before Warren Buffett actually starts investing. Now, with Bitcoin, you can't do something like that because you can't predict market adoption on Bitcoin in 2010. Barely people knew it, let alone you could predict in 2010 that in 2021 you could buy Tesla with Bitcoin. So the thing was, you can't be right all the time. And literally, if you ask me in 2010, even I wouldn't have told you to invest in Bitcoin because that was something that was new. It feels like today's Dogecoin or today's 100 other coins that keep coming and disappearing in thin air. So you would never predict or you would never know that. So his style of investing is basically fundamental analysis karke I'll invest. That is why he missed out on so many things. Now, a lot of people call him outdated, right? He should be open to new technologies coming in. A lot of people tell him, how can you not invest in Apple? And then he invested in Apple late. He didn't believe in tech companies. He was a little old school with insurance companies, Coca-Cola, which was in consumers' head. Now,
Yeah.
that's his way of doing. He got returns. That's great. Okay, that's he got his returns. He's happy with it. World is happy with it. He's made his money. He's made money for everyone else. It's okay. It's fine. If you talk about fundamentally good companies and who's the master, he's the master there, right? You can't beat him on
Exactly.
that perspective. But if you look at say for example, if you look at Bitcoin and other tech companies, if you ask him how WeWork's valuation or how Coinbase's valuation is working, he'll be like, dude, I don't understand I find it very stupid.
And isn't that the biggest strength of a person? The ability to say that I don't know this and I won't enter into this domain.
Yeah, and there's nothing lost. Is he losing something? No, he's not. Is he missing out on the gains? Yes, he is. But is he losing something in reality? No, he's not. We all make bets that are good. We all make bets that are bad. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it crashes significantly. He was not comfortable in something. He didn't invest in it. That's all that he did. There was
Yeah.
nothing
Guys,
else apart from
also,
that.
you have to understand that every person has a circle of competence. Okay? You don't have to be good at everything to be successful. You just pick a few things, avoid a lot of things which you are not good at, consistently pay attention in doing those good things consistently, and you will end up making money. And that holds true for investing, that holds true for your career as well. I'll give you an example. इंडिया के नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में 5,000
Hmm.
स्टॉक्स हैं. Do you think that every good successful investor in the world, in the country, currently knows what's happening with every 5,000 company? He doesn't need to
No.
know, right? He just has to know about two or three industries, be into it, and make money. That's how it works. So if someone is constantly criticizing because Warren Buffett didn't, hold crypto when it was at a very early stage, it's fine. Has his income doubled since 2010? More than that. Is he still a billionaire? Yes. Is he relevant? Definitely. Are we still talking about him even when he lost out? Yes. So who's winning at the end? So yeah, this was something which I wanted to discuss because a lot of people were constantly criticizing Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, and that's not how it works, right? You also want their wisdom, but will also keep criticizing them every time they do something, every time they fuck up.
It's also
So
basic
yeah.
human psychology where obviously you keep seeing Warren Buffett doing such great things, always doing well, making so much millions and billions of dollars, and then you buy something which worked and he didn't buy it, and you feel that you're better than him, or you got a one up on him, which is I mean, it's quite stupid, but it's also human psychology saying, see, he's screwed up, but I bought it and I made so much money and he missed it. It's okay. He's not God. He can't predict everything right? It's like a lottery ticket. You're buying out of one out of so many stocks. Something might work, something can't work. That way, if you
Exactly,
actually,
exactly.
and I've seen a lot of people do this in the current stock market where you see something trending, they'll go buy it. Like recently, some Alkyl Amines went up by 20%, they go buy it. Morphin Labs went up by 20%, they go buy it. But then they only buy it because of this hype of like that. No, every week there is a hype on some one particular stock or the other. But then what happens is, as soon
Exactly.
as the trend goes down, it falls down, right? And that has
Hmm.
exactly happened right now. By the way, I want to ask a question to the audience. How many of you all were holding Dogecoin today?
I asked them. A lot of people laughed.
How many of y'all had Dogecoin up till today and then sold it, or how many of y'all had it? Like, a lot of people recently bought it. It was at 70 cents, uh,
Yeah.
and then it crashed quite significantly. I think it's down to 35 cents, 38 cents
It's at
approximately.
48 cents, 35 rupees.
Wow.
The last
Wow.
I checked.
It was from
Did you,
55, right?
yeah. Did you, 59, it also reached 59 rupees.
My god. Yeah,
Do you hold Dogecoins, Shashank?
no, 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 no. I've been very vocal that I'm not holding Dogecoins. I'm actually
Okay, okay, okay.
holding only three coins right now. Just three coins.
Let me guess. Can I?
Yeah,
First one. Okay, guys, first one is it Bitcoin?
yeah,
Second one is very difficult, but I'll guess. Is it Ethereum?
yep.
And third one, is it okay? Third one, you tell me. Is it Ripple or Litecoin? Ripple or Litecoin?
No, no, I don't like Ripple anymore because Ripple has some lot of insider scam happening with the founders. No,
Hmm.
the third coin is basically a small bet that I'm taking. There's this coin called Bat coin. I don't know whether you guys have heard of it.
Hmm.
Uh, but there's this coin called Bat coin, which is basically done by the founders of Mozilla Firefox. I've been tracking it from a very long time when it was at 30 rupees, 26 rupees actually. Now it is at 111. But small quantities, just keeping it for small quantities, and I'm going to keep it for at least 5 years because it's now currently at a $2 billion market cap at $1.4. Um, I'll keep it for 5 years max. It might
So,
go up to four,
okay,
$5. I'm okay with that.
okay, okay. I have one question actually. So you said that
Yeah.
you have taken a bet on BAT. Okay. So a
Hmm.
lot of people in the last few months have actually redeemed a big substantial part of their equity portfolio and long term portfolio and invested in Doge. कि ये 1 लाख रुपए निकाल के डाल देता हूँ ये एक का 140 होगा जैसे ही 140 होगा I'll take it out and then I'll again invest it in stocks.
Yeah.
Okay. So what will you suggest? How do you take a good punt? How do you gamble? Like that's the thing, right? My idea is whenever I'm taking a punt, whenever I'm like betting on something, I'll put an amount which I'm absolutely willing to lose. Like even if it loses, it won't affect me at all. My emotions also won't be affected. कि हाँ ये गया गया. I had assumed कि ये पैसा जाने वाला है as soon as I invested.
Hmm.
So what's your ideology when you take a bet in something?
See, the thing is, it's very difficult to feel like that. For example, I'll invest in something and it doesn't work out, and I won't feel bad because it was just an amount. It was a small amount, so I won't feel bad. But if you look at it, even if you lose 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rupees, no, you get a little bit of pain. Okay, you'll be like, shit, yeah, I tried, it didn't work. And the reverse is also unsatisfactory. For example, if you had put in a very small amount and maybe Doge doubled and you
Yeah,
made 10,000, then you would still be sad by saying, shit, I should have put more. So
exactly.
I feel either way, when you're playing the short term game, you're not happy and the stress is insane because if you put 5,000, the stress is not there that much. So if you lose, you're a little bit okay, but you're still feeling sad. But if it goes up, you're very happy, but you're still not that happy because you should have put more. But if you put a lot of money in upfront, then you're stressing so much. You wouldn't have slept all night. You would have got up in the morning to watch
Yeah,
SNL. You would have seen the Doge price falling down from whatever to whatever. Tracking Elon's every move, tracking Elon's every tweet. It's not worth the stress, I'm saying. And that too, you're gambling on someone else's tweet and someone else's thing, and you're not gambling on your logic. There's literally zero brains that you're applying right now. Zero.
negative actually.
Yeah. So why would you want? So
Yeah.
rather take an informed decision. That's why, see, I like a lot of people. See, if you look at Rakesh Junjunwala also, even he says, I don't believe in Bitcoin, I don't understand Bitcoin. These guys are all
Huh.
seasoned old time guys who have seen the world in a different way before tech adoption came into picture. I'm not saying they're wrong. Okay, they're awesome at what they do. If you ask fundamental questions about old school industries, they are insane about that. If you ask new age tech disruptions and how the future of tech is, it is very difficult for them to understand what blockchain is. And even if you look at what blockchain is, they'll be like, uska promoter kaun hai?
Exactly.
Satoshi Nakamoto कौन है ये? Promoter holding
No one
कितना है?
knows. Uh,
Nobody knows. Conference call भी नहीं करता है हर quarter, right? Research report भी नहीं आता है. So how can you? What is the future of this currency? Like, what is the roadmap? What is the next 3 months look like, or next? There's nothing. There's absolutely
hmm.
nothing. So for them, they're like, you know what? I'm anyway making money on other side, other things. Why should I risk my money here? Just on the FOMO?
And
Definitely
the
not.
And the biggest challenge here is like this is a challenge which I have been constantly facing because I started off as a stock investor and I am still a stock investor. So, how do I analyze stocks? I analyze stocks by trying to find the future cash flows that a company will generate. कि ये company आगे जाके कितना पैसा कमाएगा. A part of that will be distributed to the shareholders as dividends and by increase in the share price. That's how stocks are evaluated.
Yeah.
But for something like these tokens and these coins, there are no cash flows which these tokens will generate. So the biggest problem here is how do I evaluate it? I analyze it, I evaluate it by trying to find the use cases. Okay? But the
Yeah.
problem here is most of the tokens are so new. Like even if they propose something, okay, the thing is they propose that we will be using this token for this. That's just the proposal. Then I have to look at how viable it is. After it is viable, then we have to look at how much acceptance has it gotten in the world till now. And for for people like for someone like me who is not so much into tech, I don't understand most of the things. So
Yeah.
that's why I completely have ignored altcoins like you. I have also invested only in BTC and Ethereum, and I took a punt in Doge. That's it. So, and that's simple, right? Because I don't understand, I do not have the time to, understand each and every use case and then also try to figure out how viable it is in the long run. That's something
Correct.
which I'm not competent enough, I feel. So,
No, it
yeah,
is.
so
See,
what's,
there is no
go ahead.
revenue structure or revenue scheme for a cryptocurrency. It is the only way cryptocurrencies work is something known as market adoption. That's it. How
Yeah.
much, who's adopting how much of what. When Dogecoin, before Elon Musk came in, Dogecoin was used as a tipping system in a lot of places. So there was adoption. That is why Dogecoin even survived for so long, first of all.
Yes,
If you
yes.
look at, that is why I like Ethereum so much, because everything is built on Ethereum. Right?
Exactly.
Ethereum is like the land, and you are building houses on Ethereum. That is exactly what's happening right now on Ethereum.
Hmm.
Bitcoin is like the father coin. It's like dollar. Everything's pegged to it. So Bitcoin and Ethereum will be the last two cryptocurrencies to ever crash.
Hmm.
Right?
Definitely, definitely.
Everything else is either substituting that and saying, you know what, I am a faster, better version of, I'm Bitcoin Lite, I'm Bitcoin Cash, I'm Bitcoin Lightning, Cardano, ADA. There's so many which are not coming out with special use cases, but are just saying, you know what, I am another version of the same thing. Correct? By the
And
way,
that's
do you
how,
guys,
yeah.
yeah.
No, no, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So there was recently, just I think a month ago, there was some friend of mine who messaged me saying there was this company called Dogeland.io website actually. It was a website called Dogeland.io. I don't know whether you guys have heard of it. Um, it was basically a cloud mining system for Dogecoin, right? Very weird. They were giving unrealistic. They were giving you free Dogecoins. They were giving you unrealistic things, and then you had to give Dogecoin, and they got millions and millions of Dogecoin in their wallet. The website shut down today, or not today, but in this week, the website shut down. So a lot of scams like this keep happening, and you will not figure out where this comes from. So sometimes, even when I look at these, when I look at all these things, coins, even I don't understand the business behind it. I want to see product, I want to see value, I want to see what is
Exactly.
happening, I want to know who's behind it. So with BAT, for example, I'm using the Brave browser. I know they do keep doing updates every single time. I know who the founders are. They release a roadmap also every single point of time. So these type of projects are slightly better to bet on, compared to those projects that I don't know who the founder is, I don't know what the roadmap is, and they're just like, okay, you know what, we'll figure it out. So again, those are
Yeah.
gambles. Everything's a gamble actually, but it's better to look at as a platform what has a product and how vocal is the promoter about this product slash. See, because if the promoter is vocal, no, he has a lot to lose. If the promoter is active,
Hmm.
everyone knows his face. Tomorrow, if he tries to do a scam and he runs away, they'll find him and they'll destroy him, and he can never do anything for the rest of his life if he's very vocal. I would rather prefer a
Yeah,
founder.
if you lose the trust, then it's very difficult. So,
Yeah,
yeah, so because of your example, right, I have one question for the audience. Guys, which coin do you think will be more valuable? The coin which has a lot of supply or a coin which has limited supply? मुझे आंसर चाहिए. The coin with the very high supply or the coin with limited supply? Everyone's saying limited, limited.
what's the
Okay.
question again?
Unlimited. The question is, which coin do you think will be more valuable? A coin with unlimited supply or a coin which has some scarcity? I wanted to actually share a stat that, so I'm still waiting. Everyone's staying limited. This community I think is one of the most intelligent communities on the internet. Unlimited isn't possible. Okay, unlimited isn't possible. Someone said unlimited isn't possible. I'll give you one stat, guys. Dogecoin. There are 14 million new Dogecoins every day. On the other hand, Bitcoin has 21 million total number of coins, which will be in the entire history, like 2142 तक Bitcoin के 21 million होंगे. Dogecoin के हर दिन almost 14 to 15 million new Dogecoins are entering in the system. And that's the thing, right? If you think that the supply is actually limited, just go to coinmarket.com or the site which shows the market cap of each crypto, and then look at the market cap of most of the coins. तुम Dogecoin का भी देखोगे ना, market supply will be infinity. Literally it will be an infinite का sign. So ऐसा नहीं है कि coins का limit, हर coin का limited supply होता है. Most of the shit coins, as I call them, have अनलिमिटेड सप्लाई कि जितना ज्यादा माइन करना है कर लो, कोई लोड नहीं है. सो दैट्स वन थिंग. हाँ, गो अहेड. दिस वाज one stat which I wanted to share.
Yeah, it all depends on what do you call it? It all depends on demand supply. Even if there's
Exactly.
unlimited supply or something, but the demand is more than the unlimited supply, it is gonna go up, whether you like it or
But
not.
then,
That's exactly what it is.
yeah, but the thing here is, like, if the supply is limited, like if you look at any stock, any asset which does not give fixed returns, ठीक है? If you look at its entire historical trajectory, अगर तुम पूरा ग्राफ देखोगे, it will never be the same. Like the share price will never be constant. Same so with the company's investor sentiment. What an average investor thinks about a normal company, that constantly keeps changing over the years. So if the supply of a coin is unlimited, okay, and if the coin also has to consistently grow, the assumption is that the demand will always be very high, and that is very difficult because that's not how human emotions work. So, like, if you think about it, SNL में today, Elon Musk actually said that Doge is as good as a dollar. He said it as a joke, but he still mentioned Doge a lot of times. But still, the price went down. So the thing is, the sentiment won't be constant over the years. So if a coin with unlimited supply has to be relevant throughout the history, the demand also has to be very high all the time, and that's something which I feel is very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, guys, a lot of people are investing in for the short term hype, short term game. Trust me, in the crypto world, if you really want to make money, the short term game of 20, 30, 40, 50% is nothing compared if you keep it for 6 months. It is nothing compared to what you would get if you keep it for 6 months. So all the people trying to buy at 55 rupees and it goes up to 75, 80, I'm saying it's literally pointless. You're trying to do 50% returns in one day, but if you keep it for 6 months to 1 year, you will get more than 200% returns, right? If you invest in the good ones. So
Exactly.
rather just hold it, and that's good enough for a year, dude. If you're saying okay, every year you're getting 200% returns on a particular investment, then that's not bad at all. Let's see, Tarun is saying I bought one Ethereum for 85,000 rupees in 2017. He kept it for how many years? 4 years. From the last 3-4 years. So every year it's giving 100% return, which is also not a problem, which is completely fine.
And his peace of mind would have been way more than a person who invested in Ethereum for a week or 2 weeks. So the
Exactly.
peace of mind whenever you are investing for a long term is massive, and that's what makes the investing game sustainable, right? If you think that if you are investing in Doge, okay, and you are having sleepless nights, and you are like, as soon as Doge reaches $1, I'll sell it, and then I am never going to invest in crypto again. इतना स्ट्रेस मेरे को लेना ही नहीं है. एंड दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस, राइट? ट्रेडिंग में भी होता है. इफ यू टेक अ लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेस फॉर अ मंथ, उसके बाद यू विल लाइक अब मुझे वापस करना ही नहीं है, आई विल बी अ लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर. So, if you
Yeah.
want to be an investor for a very long time, you have to do things which are sustainable, which means that you have to be peaceful. You need peace of mind.
Yeah, I mean, if I ask you the question saying today's Bitcoin price is whatever 56,000, today's Ethereum price is almost 4,000. Do you think in the next 5 years it is still going to be lower than this or exactly the same? You'll be like, no, Shashank, it'll definitely be higher. When you know it's going to be higher, then what's the, like, I don't know what's the limiting factor. The limiting factor is, you're Shashank, you're saying you have to wait for 5 years. That is the limiting factor.
Hmm.
The patience is lacking, not anything else.
But I'm very sure that the people who lost money in Dogecoins, they have they have probably learned the lesson, because losing money, I think, teaches lessons very quickly. So I think आगे जाके they will take decisions after analyzing a few things. They'll take more time. They probably won't rely on someone's tweets. So I think ecosystem wise, people who have invested in Doge right now will be more responsible crypto investors in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying this from the last 1 month, saying that don't get into this hype. Don't get you. Your chances of winning against the Dogecoin hype is negligible. It's very difficult for you to win. Don't get into it. Don't get into it. I don't know. People just let them. It's good that people understand and learn by their own experience, and then next time when something like this happens, they'll be like, you know what? When ek bar I screwed up. I burnt my fingers once. I'm not going to do it again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now I just, so basically, the primary factor of analyzing cryptocurrencies, according to my understanding, is trying to understand the use case. ठीक है?
Hmm.
But the thing is, you understand the use case, you are confident about the use case कि हाँ, this is a very efficient thing, and this will change the way finance works, this will change the way technology works. So this is the competence part of the system कि हाँ, you are very confident about this product, about this token's competence कि हाँ, ये बहुत सही product है. Now the second thing is trust in the system. ठीक है कि competence is one thing and trust is another thing. Will investors accept what they are offering? Because a lot of times the product just doesn't have to be good enough to be a bestseller, right? To give you an idea, India may still people are investing in mutual funds. Index funds is not a big thing, but in the West, everyone has adapted to index funds, right? Because they are better. Long run may, it's very difficult to beat the market. So why pay that extra 2-3% when you can get it at a very cheap commission? So आज के
Yeah.
दिन भी इंडेक्स फंड जैसा क्लासिक प्रोडक्ट विच इज बीन इन द वेस्ट सिंस सो लॉन्ग, इंडिया में नहीं आया है. सो माय पॉइंट इज कि हाउ डू यू असेस इफ अ टोकन विल बी एक्सेप्टेड बाय पीपल इन द फ्यूचर?
That's the thing, no? That's the biggest problem and the biggest uncertainty of the crypto market, that you don't know. There is no fixed roadmap. Um, there is no industry that you can evaluate, and this is just a commodity in that industry. For example, if it's a cement sector and it's a new cement company, you can still connect some dots. But this is not something that it's a pre-existing commodity. It is a new commodity. You are creating market adoption from day one for your currency. Every currency is trying to create its own market on day one, right? And that day one is going to take minimum more than 4 to 5 years for you to create a market. So every coin is trying to create its own market so that adoption happens, so that people buy into that coin or buy into the future of that coin. And everyone has its own use case. So it is not something
Yeah.
that the industry or market is ready. You are coming and making a new market. So even like you look at anything. Ripple came out with the banking transactions thing, right? When it came out long ago,
Hmm.
it said we will do banking transactions and banks can use come on Ripple technology. Now at that point nobody knew what Ripple technology was. Banks didn't know about it. They
Yeah.
showed how cost
Hmm.
efficient it can be, and they created a market. They went to banks and said please use it, and they created a market. Ethereum came out and said, you know what, you can build your stuff on my land, or you can build your stuff on my blockchain. Do it. Again, they were building a market, and the adoption was not that big, right? The adoption was not that big
Yeah.
at all. The adoption was nothing. And over the period of time is when Ethereum shot up. Ethereum was at $8, and a very long time it was still a useless coin, right? Only after a very long period of time it just shot up, and then there's no way to figure it out, because the market adoption kicked in. So every coin is making its own new market. So you need to figure out what might create the next market. What is good to create the next market? We don't know. We have to, and here there's a lot of factors, because you need to know what the founder is. You need to know if the founder is good, bad. Has he done something before in the past? Is he capable? It all depends on the founder, and then how the founder, does the game, plays the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's so uncertain right now. It's so uncertain, like, and that's why I am not investing a very big part of my net worth. I do an SIP. To be honest, I do an SIP in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's a very
Yeah.
small part. But I also feel that आगे जाके in the long run, this will amount to something, and I'll make some money. But having said that, I'm not comfortable investing a very big part because I don't know enough. And the fact
Hmm.
is, no one knows enough about this because it's so new.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, like, there are two factors when you are investing in stocks. Is one is like directly looking at the company, and second is looking at the macro factors, right? Looking at the entire economy's factors and how it can impact that sector as a whole. So, what do you think are some macro factors which can actually impact cryptocurrencies? So, one thing is like, I feel that, correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest reason why most of the cryptos rallied since the pandemic started is also because economies, central banks around the world started printing a lot of notes, and
Hmm.
people felt that this will have a very negative impact in the long run. This will have a very big impact on our currency in the long run. So let's start finding an alternative store of value, ताकि आगे जाके 10 साल बाद अगर if the impact of printing 2 trillion US dollars is seen after 10 years, we have our money in something which has grown by that point. So I feel that people also started looking for an alternative to the existing systems, and what better than decentralized networks, because they have nothing to do with anything happening with the governments. So I feel this is one of the macro reasons why crypto suddenly picked up in 2020. So firstly, what are your thoughts on this?
I think I have slightly differentiating thoughts, because I'll tell you how it works, right? Um,
Yeah.
Everyone, all the experienced finance institutions and funds and the big guys, everyone is only obsessed with one thing, which is percentage return, right? Because they're handling someone else's money. So everyone is trying to figure out how to get the best returns in the market and how to beat everyone in the market, so that they can raise more funds and then take more management fees to do the same thing again and again. Now if you look at last year, when the entire market crashed and COVID happened, the markets were the most volatile thing to be in, and it was the most scariest thing to be in, because we didn't know what was the future, we didn't know what was going to happen, we didn't know how long it was going to last, and we were waiting for vaccines to come. At that
Yeah.
point Bitcoin was rallying, and because it had done a massive consolidation for more than a year. Ethereum also, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum were both consolidating.
Hmm.
Now when Bitcoin slowly started to rise from 10,000 to 15,000 to 20,000, all the big billion-dollar hedge funds, all the big people started coming and investing in Bitcoin, because they only care about one thing, which is percentage return. The
Returns.
market at that point was not giving you if market was giving you maybe 50% returns after COVID, these the Bitcoin was giving you 300% returns. So they only care about percentage returns, and the hype was there. They got in at the right time, flew the entire wave. Now tomorrow, I'll give you an example. For tomorrow, if Bitcoin starts consolidating again, okay, and the stock market is rallying, these guys will remove all their money from Bitcoin and come back to the stock market. And that happened before as well. It has happened once before,
Hmm.
because for them it's only about growing my money. It is only about percentage return. They couldn't care less about, you know, Bitcoin for 5 years. They want to know what is their return for 365 days. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest boom why Bitcoin rallied so much was mainly because of the big hedge funds that were investing billions and billions of dollars in Bitcoin, because it was giving more return than anything else. The hype was there. That is why Bitcoin flew like how it flew. But the minute, and it had nothing to do with the US printing so much money. The reason being, US, India, all the other countries have perpetually, forever, perennially been printing money throughout. It is not like, they haven't been printing money before. They've always kept printing money. The inflation obviously creeps up, but common man does not understand inflation, so it is completely forgotten,
Hmm.
and they don't care. So that they have so much debt, they just print the money and give. Yes, inflation happens, but then everyone's also printing. No, the problem happens when US is printing and other countries are not printing. The value of US will go down. Yes, but if everyone is printing money in the world, everyone's printing a lot of money, then the general inflation rate of every country is around the same, okay, 5-6%. Then the people who are losing are people like us, the Aam Aadmi, because now today I'm paying 100 for something, tomorrow I'm paying 115 for something, or 120 rupees for the same thing, right? So printing money was never the issue. The issue was stock market did not was not attractive last year because of the fall, and we didn't know when the stock market would be attractive. The only other thing at that point, even gold was not going up last year. If you remember, when the stock market crashed, even gold was
Yeah.
in a muted phase. The only thing that was going up was Bitcoin, and everyone ran to Bitcoin. Now tomorrow, if the stock market starts rallying and we see the next bull run, everyone will come back here. Everyone will leave that and come back here if Bitcoin starts consolidating. So it is very
Hmm.
stupid to think that you control the market or retail investors control the market, even though
That will
they
never
do
be the case.
participate. Yeah, they do participate, but the majority, if you look at the Bitcoin, there's a recent article that came out where the number of whales holding Bitcoin, whales are like ultra rich people. If you look at the
Yeah.
billion-dollar portfolios holding Bitcoin, it increased by an insane number. A lot of people are investing billions and billions in Bitcoin for the next few years. But again, if it stops giving returns, you think they'll keep billions of dollars over there if it gave you 1% return? Definitely not. Bitcoin is not उन लोग का सगा तो नहीं है. So they will
Hmm.
remove it and put it somewhere else. If I can get 1% return in Bitcoin tomorrow when it's consolidating, but the market is giving me 6% return, risk-free rate of return at 6%, or government bond is giving me 6%, why would I ever keep it at 1%? So the big finance guys
Got it.
only run behind percentage, not money, not anything else. It's just percentage return in a particular year.
So here the issue here is my challenge here is if big whales are holding a big percentage of bitcoins. If 40% of shitcoin is held by five whales, or if the tweets of a single individual can impact the
Hmm.
prices of all these cryptocurrencies, are these actually decentralized as investments? Because the I mean the point is they must be decent, their networks must are definitely decentralized, but the impact the impact of a few individuals on these coins are still so high that in the end they can actually control the movement of the prices, right? So the
Yeah.
this is something which has been constantly, you know yeah. So what's your thought in this? Because I personally feel the networks might be decentralized, but the share price movements are still impacted by a few individuals, which makes this entire ecosystem somewhat centralized.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, it all started off as decentralized. See, it would be truly. See, Bitcoin started off after 2008 because some few guys lost faith in the banking system and said, you know what, this is
Yeah.
nonsense. They're just printing, etc., etc. Let me just do 21 million coins entire existence and nothing will be printed after that. and this is the circulation. But they never saw, I don't think they ever sought out to become the people's coin, because if see, I'll tell you two things. One is that Bitcoin never sought out to become the people's coin. It was the first coin. It was the first ever cryptographic thing that ever came out. But I don't, with a limit of 21 million, you cannot have a currency that has a limit of 21 million or even
Definitely.
1 billion. You need much more than that. So even though everything, so it would have been truly decentralized, if there was a cap on the number of people holding a particular coin.
Holding.
That would be true decentralization, that
But
not more than 3% can be held by one individual in one particular coin.
that will definitely impact the potential of a coin's rise, right? So for if I have a
Exactly.
if I am yeah if I am someone who has started a new token, and if I put such a cap on an individual holding, this will definitely it will take a lot of time for people to actually discover the true potential of a token. So like if you think Ethereum was launched in 2014. Okay, and it's just 7 years, and 7 years mein it has given a significant return, and that would never have happened if whales, if a few accounts, or if some people actually could hold nothing more than 2 or 3%. So because
Hmm.
that means that the penetration of Ethereum and the penetration of cryptocurrencies has to be very high, has to be massive. Like a lot of people have to know about Ethereum for it to rise. So
That's what I'm
that's a
saying. So
challenge.
in finance, everything has plus and minus at the same time. True decentralization will have everyone has to have not more than 3%, but there's a minus because you won't have adoption.
Exactly.
So everything has plus and minus. But I truly believe one day in the future, I don't know how many years into the future, but there will be one coin, okay, or one type of currency that should be or will be accepted and used all over the world as a very normal thing, okay, which has a global denomination. So say for example, it won't be Bitcoin, it won't be Ethereum, it won't be any of these things.
The transaction time is very high, and secondly it's deflationary. So as the time keeps on increasing, like the value of these coins will constantly keep going up. So I don't think these will be currencies, as you said. Yeah, go on.
Correct. So it will be more like Tether, right? Which is always pegged to $1. So
Peg to $1,
tomorrow you
yes.
cannot have a coin that is only 1 billion tokens in circulation. You have to keep printing the coins, even if it's a decentralized coin, and even if everything is digital and it is on the blockchain, it still has to have unlimited supply, because the world revenue is also increasing so much. Inflation is also coming in. So ideally, if you catch 6% inflation, then 6% coins also should go up. The supply should keep increasing. But I believe that in the future there will be one coin that I can even go to, say, some remote part of the world. Like I can go to maybe somewhere in Norway, and they'll be like, yes, we accept this currency, and it is a universal currency that everyone can use, and it is instant, and the transaction fee is negligible. Right? With Bitcoin, even though it has the most adoption, it says there was a thing that you can go in some places and buy Starbucks coffee on Bitcoin. Try doing
Yeah.
that now. Your network fees will be 3 cups of coffee. So
True.
it doesn't make sense. So Bitcoin was not built or meant to be built as a universal coin, nor was Ethereum built. But what will happen in the next phase? Okay, the next phase is, if Bitcoin becomes famous, or if some cryptocurrency becomes famous, it is a threat to every country. Literally every country is under threat, because who will use dollar then? If no one wants dollars, everyone's transacting in this new coin called ABC coin, and no one is using dollar, then dollar's value is gone for a toss, and ABC coin will do very well. So it is a huge problem for a particular country. So no country will let a new universal coin come into the picture. But again, if it's a universal coin, doesn't matter, it'll always work. That's why no one can stop Bitcoin, because it became so big. But next phase, what will happen is everyone will adopt the digital currency game and create their own local currency. So USD currency, or India rupee coin, or
Stable coins.
every country will have its own currency. But again, after a few years of that, also people will lose faith, because you can't do that currency on blockchain. Okay, it can't be a public blockchain, because then I'll know exactly how much is in whose account. And that is something that Indians don't want. Right? Imagine knowing what how much money your neighbor has, and you can just go online and be like, "Acha, ये बोला इसके पास पैसा नहीं है, he's not giving चंदा नहीं दे रहा है, but see how much money he has in this rupee coin." Yeah, that would be the worst thing, right? And you'll know exactly how much to ask for also. If you're getting married, you know exactly, acha tere paas itna coins hai na, thoda de. Right? Agar nahi diya to you know exactly this guy's a chindi fellow. So that it will never be a public token. Never, you'll know
But
exactly how much
the
politicians have.
but uske pehle, like for this to happen, everyone has to know everyone else's the addresses, right? The वो address तो India में सब लोग people are so secretive about their wealth. No one is going to share the address. So and
No, no,
नाम तो
no.
आएगा नहीं.
See, if it comes in India, it'll be linked. They will make you link it to your Aadhaar card. No,
But then तो it's the full to say fully centralized. हाँ.
you think India will ever release a coin and not know who's having how much coin? Aadhaar card, PAN card, passport, your birth
OTP भी आएगा.
certificate, your OTP, everything will be there, right? So India will know everything. Then वो India का list जो है जिसका नाम पे सब कुछ linked है, that will also get leaked because our security is top notch. So that will also get leaked, and then everyone will know. Correct. So it see that's what I'm saying. The next phase will people will try this because countries will have to do this digital thing because everyone's going digital. They will have to adopt it for the sake of adopting. But I'm telling you that also will eventually fail because you can't have a truly public, public Indian currency coin. It is not fundamentally possible unless it is possible if you say there is zero corruption in the world and everyone knows everyone's account and everyone is happy about it's a happy jolly world. It's like everyone's on LSD, but that's not how it works, right? You're not that happy
Too
about.
good to be
You're
true.
always jealousy case.
हाँ.
The perfect world that won't happen, right?
And the
So then
expectation is also wrong, I feel. वो नहीं होगा. So
exactly.
the, if
So that's what in the end, after all these, I don't even know how many years this would take, but then eventually there will be created one universal coin. Okay, there'll be one universal coin where anyone on any border across countries will be able to use it, and the purpose of that is only for digital currency, nothing else.
But as you said, right, the existence of such a coin will basically be a threat to every government's local currency, and the currency is the only area where a government has a complete monopoly. So Taleb says this interesting thing.
Yeah.
Cryptos right now are too volatile to be accepted as currencies, but they act as an insurance that the governments in the coming times will act in the best interest to control how they are managing the currency. Because if they keep fucking up, there will be a currency, there will be a decentralized currency which will replace them all, and that will, if you cannot control how people spend, you cannot basically control how the economy works. So that is
Yeah.
something which is too big to lose for any government. So I think this is a big enough insurance for us people कि हाँ आगे जाके शायद गवर्नमेंट अच्छे से एक्ट करेगा. बट लेट्स सी, आई थिंक दैट इज आल्सो समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी too much to expect. But हाँ देखते हैं.
So that's what. So if people are thinking about cryptocurrencies, just understand one very simple fact that cryptocurrencies, or let's call it digital currencies, are here to stay. That is definitely going to be there. Because if you had to remove Bitcoin from existence, then you have to remove every single person in this world. You have to tell them don't trade in Bitcoin. Right? It's like actually vaccinating the entire world where there is no virus at all. It's almost impossible to tell people do not trade in Bitcoin and then Bitcoin's value is useless. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these coins will all the cryptocurrency, digital currency rhythm is just getting started. It will definitely be there in the future.
Definitely. ठीक है. So now I have one more question. This is something which is coming in my mind. So as the number of years of this entire crypto market keeps increasing, let's say we are in 2030 and now cryptos are existing for the last 21 years. Okay? And the use cases of Bitcoin are now replicated by some other coin in a more efficient and faster way. This is something which is already happening. There are alternatives which are doing the digital transaction in a more efficient way. Do you think something like Lindy effect will apply to Bitcoin? For guys, for people who don't know what's Lindy effect, Lindy effect is basically because something has been existent for a very long time, it will still be relevant. So ये चीज 20 साल से है इस मार्केट में, ये आगे जाके भी रहेगा. So that's the basic thing. So Shashank, what do you think if the use case of most of the Bitcoin, if the use case of Bitcoin is still not very high, do you think Bitcoin will still be valuable? Do you think Bitcoin will still be as as much in demand as it is right now? Because my hunch is ki it will be. It will be like you said, right? Shashank said कि आगे जाके भी most of the hedge funds just want returns. उनको सिर्फ returns चाहिए, ठीक है. और अगर returns चाहिए तो उसका मतलब ये कि आज के दिन में बहुत सारे hedge funds और बहुत सारे whales ने बहुत सारा bitcoin पकड़ के रखा हुआ है.
Yeah, I don't know, something I was saying and then it got cut. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you were muted and then so basically, did you hear my question?
No, nothing.
Yeah, so I was saying कि will Lindy effect apply on Bitcoin? Like if the only reason why Bitcoin is still relevant is because it's old enough. It's the oldest out. It is the oldest crypto out there. That's the only reason. Most of the use cases has been replicated in a more efficient manner by other people. So that's there. But because Bitcoin has been existing since the longest of the time, it will be in demand for people. So that's the thing. I personally feel it will be.
Bitcoin in the future will be like those, collectible items. The things that have gone extinct in the past. So Bitcoin will be one of those things that will always be in demand because it was so famous. It's like saying 30 years into the future, it would be like wearing an analog watch. Okay, if you ask me today, everything is about analog watch, and now smartwatches are coming. Tomorrow, the next generation will only use smartwatch.
Yeah.
Right. So, but having an antique analog watch, and not even antique, a normal Casio or G-Shock watch would be like, oh wow, okay, right, and then the value of that would be expensive also. So Bitcoin eventually Bitcoin will always be there. I told you, right? It'll be the last coin to disappear. It'll always be there. Someone will always have value for it. It'll always be used somewhere or the other, and it'll be super expensive after a particular point. But there will be in the future that one new coin will come and dominate all. That will happen very, very late in the future, and one big person will only have to come and do it. It's like if you ask me today, someone who can do it would be someone like Elon Musk, who can come and literally make a world coin. Right, he's the only one who can actually do something like that. Or maybe someone who's even a bigger personality tomorrow will come and make one universal coin forever. But again, that's too much into the future, and we have no idea who's going to do that. But whenever that happens, please buy and keep. That's it. We don't care. We just buy and
So
keep.
the basic idea here is it will be a collectible in a few years, and if you are holding Bitcoin right now, don't sell it. Don't sell it. You will be
Yeah.
one of the few
Don't.
Bitcoin holders जिसके पीछे बहुत सारे लोग आएंगे कि I want to buy it, I want to buy it. You will be able to sell it at 1000x, 10,000x. ठीक है, so wait for it. My hunch is, as you said, right? So many hedge funds are constantly buying it. So many hedge funds are holding it. So many whales are holding it. To justify their investments, they will constantly keep buying the dip.
Yeah.
So अगर 60,000 से 50,000 गया, they will keep buying the dip, and that's why Bitcoin's price will have a lower point कि इस लेवल के नीचे तो नहीं जाने वाला, because as soon as it goes, more people keep buying it. And as hedge funds and more number of institutional investors have entered this game, this is something which will probably happen. Even if Bitcoin has absolutely no use case in the digital transaction space, it will still have a very good price because it has been invested by very many people, and they will have to constantly kind of justify the reason why they hold such a big position.
See, and also a lot of people feel that Bitcoin is already overvalued, and we missed out on the Bitcoin billionaire millionaire journey, right? We could have become a Bitcoin millionaire and blah blah blah. Now, if you've tracked Bitcoin in the past, okay, I'll do some basic math here, which a lot of people know but will never know how to understand it from this perspective. If you have looked at Bitcoin, can you tell me what is the percentage gain that happened in this last 1 year? Can someone look at Coin Market Cap and quickly tell me what is the percentage gain of this year on Bitcoin?
Wait, I'll also see.
Last 1 year. Simple math I'll give you. Okay, just see last 1 year.
402 percentage. 402
Okay, so
percentage.
4x. Last 1 year, 4x.
It was at 7K. It was at 7K, and right now it's at 7 lakhs, and
50K.
right now it's at 42 lakhs.
Seven sevens. Okay,
Indian
for
rupees.
700% rally. Okay. Even if you catch 5x or 6x, let's catch 6 times. Okay, let's say catch 600% or 700% gain. Okay, let's assume this. Now, do you know Bitcoin has done the same 700% gain once before also?
Hmm. It
Right,
has. It has.
$400 पे जब था तभी it went to 4,000. Then $4,000 पे था तभी it went to 20,000 and then fell back to 4,000. Now from that it has come up to 50,000. Now can you also say that Bitcoin will do at least 2 or at least 3 of these rallies again in the next 10 years minimum, at least 3 times और ऐसा rally करेगा? Correct, simple logic, right? Now when the coin starts, now see how percentages work and see how numbers work. Okay, but I know for a fact Bitcoin will do at least 2 more rallies in the future, or maybe 3. I would say 3 rallies minimum in the future, and maybe not 6x, but maybe at least 4x. Okay, by chance, maybe, yeah, 3 to 4 times, at least 3 to 4x, it might do it. Now, if it is at 50,000, if it is at 50,000 right now, and let's assume a 4x jump from 50,000. Okay, let's assume a 4x jump from 50,000. What would the price be from the current price? 200,000, 2 lakhs. Okay, it'll be 200,000. Then again your consolidation will happen for another 1-2 years, no one will look at it, but then again one boom will happen and again it'll go up 4 times, and I'm telling very low numbers are 4x. Let's assume after that again another 4x, from 2 lakhs another 4x karo, 8 lakhs. Okay, then the final one more push, okay, of another 4x jump from 8, it'll cross 1 million, right? If in the span of say 10 years, I'm saying. But I know for a fact, I don't know how long it'll be, how long it'll take to hit $1 million uh, in a Bitcoin's value. But I know for a fact at least 2 more bull rallies will come, or at least 3 bull rallies will come in the next 10 years, or at least next
Definitely.
5 years, at least 2 bull
Even
rallies in the
if
next 5 years.
even if it's not in 5 years, you can be certain कि हाँ आगे जाके 3-4 बार ऐसा massive rally आएगा. So
Correct.
if you have such a if you have a long tenure, so that's the thing, right? I have missed a lot of stocks ka massive rally in the past. But the thing is, as if I like a stock and if I missed it, my first thing will be I have to understand this company. I have to
Yeah.
start analyzing this company. And if I understand that company and if I say that this company has a massive potential, आगे I'll be I can be a little certain कि the next rally I will catch, and that
Yeah.
has happened. So the thing is, if you are a spectator right now, the first thing which you should do is instead of FOMOing, start reading up about these things, start analyzing, so that next time you get an opportunity, right, you invest and make a massive gain. So this is the experience which you are gaining just by being in this time. So last 1 year, for most of us, this is one of the most extraordinary times to be in as someone who is looking at stocks and looking at cryptos. So just start reading, because you will get one more chance. You will get one more chance to double down in Ethereum. You will get one more chance to double in Bitcoin within a month. But be ready and be confident enough to hold them.
Yeah. So if you talk about the future, the way I see it, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But I know for a fact, if you see how numbers work, 10% gain, if a stock is currently at 2 lakhs and a 10% gain happens on that, it is a $20,000 jump. Whereas if a 10% gain happens now at 50,000, it is only a $5,000 jump. So the percentage is still the same, right? But the dollar value increases. That's like the compounding game. The dollar value increases, the number of dollars increases. So I know for a fact if Bitcoin starts hitting 100K, 200K in the future, then all it has to do is go up little more percentage for it to do massive jumps in your net worth. So that's what I don't know. So let's just wait. Till now, in the last 10, 12 years, it has done at least 3 rallies. If it survives for another 10 years, it will definitely do 3 more rallies. And if it survives for another 10 years, you should be a part of that three rallies. If it doesn't survive for 10 years, which is again a high possibility, it might not survive for the next 10 years, then don't invest so much money, or don't invest your major chunk of your money. Only invest how much you can lose, right? Put majority in your
Hmm.
index funds or in your stock market, which is definitely going to be there in 10 years, right? I know for a fact. Now currently Sensex is at 50,000. Okay, let's assume the same, actually same example, best example. Sensex is at 50,000 right now, almost at 50,000.
Hmm.
20, 10 years ago in 1992, almost 15, 20 years ago, it was at 5,000, 2,500 to 5,000. Now it's at 50,000. Now for Sensex to hit 1 lakh, it is very fast, right? It'll easily hit 1 lakh very soon. Maybe in the next 5 years only it'll hit 1 lakh. So it can even hit 10 lakhs in the future, maybe in the next 20 years, right? It's
Yeah.
exactly the same trend that I'm talking about. You'll have at least three bull rallies, right? And eventually Sensex only goes up, you'll have another three bull rallies in the market. Since so index is also the same. If you had to invest in index and you had to invest in Bitcoin, I would say it's the exact same thing right now. But index is more safe, or Sensex is more safe compared to Bitcoin, because Sensex, at least it'll be there. Because if Sensex is not there, then India won't be there. At least that you understand.
Exactly. And that's the thing, that if the arc of humans is towards progress, and in the long run, if everyone's if you sustain, you will end up making money. The idea here is to start finding things which will be relevant even after 20 years. That's the
Hmm.
main idea. What are the companies or what are the tokens which will still be relevant after 20 years? Because if you look at anything which has been mainstream for a period of 20 years, it has given returns to the investors. It has
Yeah.
given returns to the investors. So just an example, Sensex was established, I think, in 1986, and in the last 34 years, only six companies have been a part of Sensex every year. Okay, like
Yeah.
since inception, it has always been there, and these six companies have beaten Sensex every year, like by CAGR wise, like every year, by, like, if all these companies have beaten Sensex by CAGR. So sustainability and longevity are two things which you have to consider whenever you are picking up stocks or any asset for the long term holding. Yes, it's L&T, ITC, Mahindra. There is Asian Paints, I think, and there's Reliance, and one more company. Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Shreya, Tata wasn't there. Tata wasn't there. Tata is a conglomerate, right? So there are many companies. So nahi tha. I don't think even TCS was a part of Sensex, has been a part of Sensex since 1986. So yeah, so that was one thing. So an exchange in cryptocurrency. Now the,
Wow.
like,
Okay. You can hear me, right?
I can. I think
Okay, so let's
some
take
my,
one last question. It's already 9. I don't want to take too much time from people. So let's take one last question. Maybe um, someone from the audience will take one last question regarding cryptocurrencies, and then I'll take off. Then you can
yeah,
continue
sure,
on.
sure, sure. Cool. Guys, if you have any questions, just put it, and we'll be happy to answer.
Something relevant, huh?
Something relevant and no tips, guys. A lot of people said, "Ki, give me five altcoins to invest in for 10 years." That's not the idea, guys. The idea is to make better financial decisions, not invest on the basis of someone else's hunch. So वो तो नहीं होगा. ठीक है. What's the difference
Not one
between,
good, one
yeah.
decent question, actually. Okay, I would like to talk about something which is the exchanges in India right now. So, apart
Hmm.
from, if you know all the exchanges, there are so many exchanges coming in India. I don't even know how, because it's not still completely legal. There's no stance by the government yet, but a lot of exchanges have come. I have observed a very big pain point of people in the current platforms, each and every platform. I'm not singling out any exchange. I'm talking about all exchanges. There is a massive issue with all exchanges, and that issue is that the withdrawal fee is insane. Okay,
To
if
give
you
you an
look at,
idea,
like, for example,
0.005. BTC is the withdrawal fee
Yes,
for the
yes,
platform which I'm using. That's like 2,500 rupees right now. That's
yes.
massive.
Minimum
That's an amount
2,500
which
to
a college
3,000
student would
rupees.
invest.
Even when I had to remove my bat from one of the things, right, I had to pay 52 bat. That's $52 I had to pay only in net withdrawal fees, right? And that is not something that is normal, because if you look at all the global players and the global currency that is there, or global exchanges that are there, the withdrawal fee is very less. The network fee is normal, it is universal, right? But I am not paying
Yeah.
network fee right now. I am paying withdrawal fees, which is, boss, very insane. So my question here is, why are Indian exchanges limiting or trying to dissuade withdrawals from their app? That is a very important question, right? I am not understanding why everyone's keeping it so high. Okay, because it does not make that much difference. It's just a smart contract that you're running in the background, or you have to ensure this happens. They don't make money also if you're there, but I think the only reason why they're letting, the only reason I can think of is why they're keeping the withdrawal fee so high, so that you keep the money there. Is that they know that if you keep the money in that token, in that wallet, in their native exchange wallet, you will eventually end up trading it for something or the other.
Hmm.
And when
So
you trade
basically,
and you
it's in
keep,
their ecosystem.
it's in their ecosystem, and they keep making maker taker fees from you,
Hmm.
right? Now, if you look at some of the platforms and the withdrawal fee on Dogecoin, or the withdrawal fee on BAT, or any withdrawal fee, it's minimum 2,500 rupees. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot. And I think like as the entire environment progresses, that's something which we saw even with mutual funds, right? Mutual funds also had like entry fee, had like massive exit loads in the past, had massive exit entry loads. So I think like with time there has to be, so the thing with stocks and mutual funds was there was a governing body which was looking at the well-being of investors.
Yeah.
Here, the idea is there is no body as such which will basically be able to take actions.
And
So
I'm
that's
not talking
why,
about withdrawal fee to your bank account. A lot of people are getting confused thinking that it's withdrawal of INR to my bank account. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about withdrawing my
no,
tokens from their exchange, which is not safe to keep your coins there, and then keep it in your own wallet. For example, if I have
wallet.
Ethereum that I've bought on Wazir or any other exchanges, I will remove it from their exchange and keep it in my own Ethereum wallet, which is my private Ethereum wallet that I will have private keys to. Now that fees is insane. Like as you mentioned, right? Bitcoin is 0.006 to 0.004, which is a lot. Which is a lot. And then they tell you that you can invest with 100 rupees. You can start with 100 rupees, but you have to pay 2,500 rupees for withdrawal. So that means they
Yeah.
want you to keep
So
that money inside their own ecosystem, and you keep spending that money in their own ecosystem, so that they keep making 5%, 10% fees from you, maker taker charges. And eventually, someone has to lose. Someone loses, someone wins. But for them, they'll
this
make a lot of money
happens.
in that process.
Yeah, this will become mainstream, like streamlined when the number of competitors increase, and when
Yeah.
there is this one guy, like you look at the entire brokerage game. That this one guy came, introduced discount brokerage in India, and now every
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
brokerage
That is, this is
has slashed their
this is
brokerage fees.
prime. This
So
is
that's
prime now for disruption. Prime for disruption right now.
huh.
You just come
So
in
there will
and
be
say, you know what, screw you. Yeah.
exactly, and that guy has to be big enough to be comfortable to not earn a lot for a very long time, and till everyone shifts to them and then they rule. Like Zerodha is a prime example, right? Zerodha has disrupted the entire brokerage system in the country, and
Yeah.
I'm sure this is such a big limitation for the investors. I'm sure there will be someone who will come and change this for all of us. But for that, the entire system has to grow. We have to give it some time. We have to see at least 10, 15 crypto players in the country, 10, 15 big crypto players in
Yeah.
the country, and then we'll definitely see something like that happening.
And another big opportunity that a lot of people, and if that comes, it'll be insane, is SIP into these things. Oh,
Yeah,
if that
exactly.
comes
Like just automate it,
over.
just automate it, just make it simple. And the same guy is basically started something like Varsity, where he's educating audience about how the crypto thing works.
Yeah. But the only
And
problem is if someone does this and it becomes famous, government will come and be like, jail mein dalo. Finished. Game over.
and and for that to happen, the government has to give a lot of clarity. Ki what does it want? Today also some Facebook post was circulating. I received it from like 4 5 people, and wherein this guy is like government has banned cryptocurrencies. You will get the notification in the next 4 weeks. You will have
Hmm.
6 months to withdraw your bitcoins. After
All
that, they are
changed.
null and void. Huh. So like all there is so much uncertainty right now. Ki why will someone risk the next 5 to 7 years of development in a product
I
which
agree.
will be banned by the system? So वो तो नहीं होने वाला.
Yeah. No, but it's also weird
One
because if you
more.
noticed, a lot of big banks have slowly started withdrawing their support from all these things, right? And this happened last time just before the ban also. RBI came and told all the banks do not give support. So now ICICI Bank has banned crypto transactions. HDFC has withdrawn their support. So a few companies have did that, and last time also in 2016 they did the same thing. So just be careful, be ready is what I would say. If it happens, it's a high possibility. It happened once before,
And
so it can happen again.
yes, the thing here is everything is decentralized. You cannot control what's in your wallet and everything. I agree. But the point is, you shouldn't bet against the system. If the system won't allow apps to work, it will be very difficult for you to withdraw your cryptocurrency. So just
Exactly.
beware. Just beware. Do not bet against the system. It might be decent. It is decentralized. It is on the blockchain network. It will be under. It will probably be under your own public address. But still, you if the country bans it, it will be very difficult for you to trade them.
Yeah.
One more
Awesome,
question. I
guys.
think this
Oh, okay.
the
No, no, I
if you
need to
have
take
like
off.
2 minutes. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
No, I need to take off now. That's why. Or else I would
No. No.
have
No
kept on
stress.
doing
No
it, but I have
stress.
to go somewhere. Okay.
Cool. 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 ठीक है.
Cool. Awesome,
Guys, by the way,
guys.
Shashank, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thanks
much,
for
man.
having me. Awesome. I'll see you
It
guys
was my
tomorrow at
absolute
4:30.
privilege. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, man. See you guys.
Shashank,
Bye.
follow Shashank on Instagram and follow me as well. And I'm also here. I'm here for some time. So, क्या questions क्या है? I'll be here for like 5 7 minutes, and then I'll also have to bounce. So, yeah. So my question, guys, was कि if Ethereum, ठीक है, if Ethereum is basically bringing decentralized finance, what do you think will happen to existing players like HDFC or ICIC in our country? That's something which I personally find very challenging. ठीक है कि क्या होगा इनका इनका My hunch is the more. Yeah, guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? ये बताओ. Cool, 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 cool. By the way, guys, has anyone recorded this session? Has anyone recorded this session? So that आगे जाके if anyone wants to listen to it in the future, you guys can just take that reference. Ashish, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, guys. You know Ashish. Follow like you know whom to connect if you whom to contact if you want the session if you want the recording session. Record. Where do you? Oh, there's no option to record it here. You have to use the screen recorders or something like that and record it. ठीक है. By the way, guys, किसने किसने अभी तक मुझे follow नहीं किया है और who hasn't joined my community yet? ये बताओ. Who hasn't joined my community yet? Because यार भाविक is saying me, Pratik is saying me. Guys, please follow यार. ये क्या कर रहे हो? Follow karo so that next time. So basically the idea here is I'll be conducting such sessions every now and then. I'll call some people or I'll also teach you guys about stocks and everything, and we'll just have a chill sesh where we'll also learn, we'll have a laugh and everything. Okay, so join my community, guys. Follow me on the Scenes app. Also follow me on Instagram. I basically post on an every not on an everyday basis right now because of COVID and everything, but I post content regularly. And उसके ऊपर आई एम ऑल्सो मेकिंग मीम्स. आई एम मेकिंग मीम्स इन क्लूलेस अबाउट मनी, तो उसको भी फॉलो कर लेना. ठीक है, तो दैट्स माय मीम पेज. आई लव इट. ठीक है. सो हाँ, सो माय पॉइंट हियर इज if competent companies, you have to understand the companies which are competent enough and have their own distribution, right? They will never shut shops. They will never shut their company because of Ethereum. They will adapt this. They will somehow you try to collaborate and adopt the network. I'll give you one example, right? Small case का idea है तुम लोग को. Small case was this is this investing platform, okay? And yes, everyone knows, okay? Chalo, perfect. Small case was funded by Zerodha since day one, okay? Not Zerodha, true. What's the name of Nitin Kamat's VC fund? Okay, it was funded by Nitin Kamath from day one. Because of that, most of the brokers did not add small case in their network कि नहीं भाई अगर हम लोग इसका फायदा कराएंगे तो जीरोधा का फायदा होगा, तो ये करना ही नहीं है. सो इसके वजह से क्या हुआ, मोस्ट ऑफ द डीमैट अकाउंट्स, ब्रोकरेज अकाउंट्स इन द बिफोर 2018 didn't accept them, before 2019 didn't accept them, and then small case started becoming bigger, then discount brokerages started becoming bigger, then investors wanted to invest by themselves. The idea of investing by myself started becoming bigger. Result, HDFC Securities invested 100 crores in small case in December 2020. 100 crores, guys. From not adding it in the network, they invested 100 crores to be an investor of small case. So my thing is, companies which have a very big distribution will adapt and continue to be relevant. So that's one thing. Okay. Which app, Avintika is asking, which app should a newbie use to invest or trade in crypto? I use WazirX, guys, but it's still a work in progress, very honestly. Like, बहुत बार, I open the app to check my portfolio and my portfolio value is zero. Imagine that. It gives me a instant mini heart attack. It's not good for your, it's not good if you have a big amount in your wallet and it shows 0 rupees. So वो तो एक चीज है. I don't know what's a good wallet right now. I have only used WazirX and it's still a work in progress. So I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. बहुत सारे issues है which they need to figure out. CoinDCX है. I don't know if it's good or not. There is Binance, of course. So just check for yourself. Guys, any more questions? Batao. Last one question and then I'll leave. Guys, follow my community, join my community, follow me on Scenes. And if you want content on if you want like finance content on your Instagram feed, just follow me there as well. I am planning to make reels from now on because I've realized यार reach तो बढ़ नहीं रहा है, तो अब reels बनाते हैं. So I'm thinking of making reels. Obviously, I won't be able to dance and sing because it will be a pain for everyone else, but I'll try to make it a little better. Yasha, yeah, educational reels, educational reels. I am not talented enough to, release dopamine by dancing or just singing or making a cooking reel. So वो तो नहीं होगा. Abhishek is saying don't make a aurora reel. यार नहीं मतलब I thought of doing something like that, but it will give you cringe bumps because it definitely gave me cringe. I cringed out as soon as I saw thought of making something like that. So वो तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Akanksha is saying house Parag Parekh Flexi Cap. That's something which I have invested in and it has given me good returns. 40% I think is in US stocks, 37 to 38%. It's a good mutual fund. It has been performing well and the fund house has a good reputation. So that's one thing. Devashish is saying at Tanmay someday. Scenes may I'll try, man. He's quite busy these days, but I'll try. I won't promise, but I'll try definitely. Okay. Akanksha is saying any views on Cardano? No, man. I don't play this alt game because honestly, I don't have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about cryptos in general, except for Bitcoin, Ethereum, because I've been reading up about it. I've been investing in it, so I know about it. Apart from that, मुझे ज़्यादा idea नहीं है. What is a good AUM for a small cap market? A small cap fund, I think around 1,000-2,000 crores is a good play. 2,000 crores अच्छा है. 2,000 crores से नीचे, I think it's not that great. Indian market is in a bubble. I mean, this entire market game, right, is a pendulum between a bubble and a burst, bubble and a burst, bubble and a burst. ऐसा होता ही नहीं है where people are like, हाँ, now I'm investing in stocks because I want 5% return. ऐसा नहीं है. Either I want a lot of returns, or I want to take all my money out of the game and never invest again. So it's a constant battle between the bears and the bulls. So okay. On that note, guys, I think most of the questions, right? I don't think I will be able to give the right answer because ये questions मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा specific है. So मेरे को नहीं समझ आ रहा. मतलब मुझे समझ आ रहा है but आ नहीं रहा. चलो. ठीक है guys, thank you so much for like 1 hour 20 minutes of your time. This really matters. And ये बता दो next session कब चाहिए. Next session कब चाहिए ये बता दो. As soon as you tell me कि हाँ मुझे ये session कल चाहिए, कल नहीं हो पाएगा, but हाँ I promise कि थोड़े दिन में I'll do one more session very soon, as soon as time allows. ठीक है. चलो. Tomorrow won't be possible, but I'll definitely do one session this week. We'll try to cover the fundamentals of stock investing, how I pick my stocks, how I screen my stocks. I'll teach you guys that. Okay, ready guys? Chalo. On that note, bye bye. Thank you so much for your time.